Hello, I'm something of a fraud because I'm not an accountant and I've never been an accountant. I'm a careers consultant and I do spend a lot of time talking to accountancy firms about their opportunities. There are an enormous number of accountancy opportunities and it's a complete misnomer to think that you have to be highly numerate in order to be an accountant. That's not right. You have to be, if you're thinking about going into audit, then you have to be able to check things very carefully. You have to be meticulous. But normally the sort of maths you need to do, you can do with a calculator. So because there are so many more opportunities, it's obviously less competitive to enter than most of the other fields that we've just been talking about. The big firms offer the first-year experience schemes that we've just been hearing about from everybody else, and the second-year summer internships. There's also the opportunity in accountancy, and actually also certainly in investment banking, to do a one-year internship between your second and third years at university, or immediately before your final year at university. That can be a really good route in. They are not very competitive to get into. Some universities encourage larger numbers of people to go and do these internships. Others are prepared to allow students to go and do them. Typically, if you go to one of the big four to do that, you would be treated as a graduate and you would do the first year of the graduate scheme and would almost be guaranteed a job at the end of it. So perhaps something to think about, particularly if you think working for three or 4 years straight off at university sounds a bit of a tough run. After graduation, you do have to do the further qualification to become a chartered accountant. Typically that takes 3 years, and you're doing it after work, in the evenings, and lots of people fail one or more exams along the way. You just have to keep going at it. The recruitment process, again, is much as has been talked about before. There are typically online applications. Not all firms of accountants are requiring a 2-1. There are sometimes opportunities for those with a 2-2, and that's worth thinking about if things haven't worked out academically as you had hoped. There are online tests that have to be passed. Increasingly, the use of video interviewing. Again, that's been mentioned before. Important if you're doing that to find somewhere quiet to do it, to look at the video camera on the screen rather than sort of stare blankly around generally. And typically you'll have something like, the questions will come up on the screen, you'll have something like 30 seconds to look at them and then 1 to 2 minutes to answer each question, and then it will cut off. And typically you can't replay it, you can't re-record it. It's a one-off and done, and then it's sent. There are also the possibility of phone interviews, and then obviously face-to-face interviews and assessment centres. So a very similar process to what we've been talking about before.